Smith of Washington State, the top-ranking Democrat on the House Armed Services Committee. Thank you so much for joining me. I know there was a laundry list of numbers there, but the bottom line is people are sick and tired of being sick and tired of what we're watching in Washington. What do you say to the folks who say, yes, there's a meeting, but after the sequester?
Well, I think they're right. We need to make a decision on this. We need a long-term plan to balance the budget. Now, we don't have to balance the budget in 10 years, as Republicans are insisting, but we do have to get the deficit under control, and we need to start talking honestly about the choices involved. We have to raise taxes, and we have to make reductions in mandatory spending over the course of the next 10 years to get there. I mean, this is the deal that's been hanging out there for 2 years. It's tough. There are no easy answers here, but we got elected to lead, and I think we need to start leading and make that budget decision, because the impact on the economy right now, I mean, even without sequester, the impact on the economy is devastating, and sequester makes it all the worse.
And you're absolutely right. When you have 51% of the people out there less confident in this economy at a time, Congressman, when there was a report just this week, home sales are up over 7%. People perhaps are feeling a little better, and they're going out to look for jobs. And here we are again with this man-made, if you will, problem facing this economy at this fragile time.
Well, we need to stop lurching from crisis to crisis. I mean, the Budget Control Act in 2011, I thought was bad from the beginning. I didn't vote for it. It was only done because the Republicans refused to raise the debt ceiling. And now it's put in place these mandatory across-the-board cuts that are damaging our economy when it can least afford it. We need to stop doing that.
Right.
We need to shut off the sequester and move forward with funding the government appropriately and making the long-term decisions needed.
Doesn't look like we're going to shut out the sequester, so here we go. Friday, you've got this meeting after the deadline. What needs to be the first thing you believe the president should put on the table?
Well, here's the 2 steps I think we need to take. Obviously, the second one is get that big deal on taxes and mandatory spending. But if we can't get that, let's stop sequester. Let's stop torturing the discretionary portion of the budget, thinking that that will force us to act on the bigger budget deal. Obviously, that isn't working. So let's get a deal on discretionary spending. I introduced a bill today that would get rid of sequester, lock in place some further cuts in discretionary spending, but over the course of the next 10 years, and a lot less, about a third of what's done in sequester. Get the discretionary portion of the budget fixed. Let's start passing appropriations bills so we stop lurching every 3 months from crisis to crisis.
Wow.
If you can't get the big deal, that's unfortunate, but don't torture the rest of the budget and the rest of the economy while we're waiting to get that big deal.
Congressman, thank you so much for joining us. I greatly appreciate it. We will see what happens as some movement possible here. And joining me now, NBC News senior political editor Mark